Herbivore.
Good morning, vegan man and woman. How are you doing? Thanks for joining me. Dan. Evening Squad. Casey Harris is here as well. Good old Aslan. Brennan. Michael Askew. Natalie had something to say, but then she changed her mind. I hope that wasn't a swear word. How you doing, guys? Good to see you all. Aslan, Hench, is it better to have fewer large meals throughout the day or more frequent smaller ones instead? Fewer larger meals, according to the science. I used to think it was otherwise. Yeah, you don't want to have meals too close together. It can potentially be a cause of SIBO, small intestinal bacterial overgrowth. I've got a feeling that that's what happened to me a couple of 2 or 3 years back. And also, it gives the old gut microbiome, the bacteria, a bit of a rest. Like they don't need to be working hard like all the time, just like the rest of us. So yeah, I like to see maybe 3 larger meals with a good 3 hours 45 between meals, and preferably like at least about a 12-hour fasting window as well. Also, is it not good to drink water whilst eating? And if so, how long should one wait after finishing before they do? I like to drink my fluids like halfway between meals. I mean, it's sort of twofold, really. One, my food takes up a lot of space and I don't need to be putting liquid in there at the same time. But two, yeah, you are diluting your stomach acid when you do so. However, I understand that our bodies are pretty clever. Like there's like sensors, like the stomach does work with a bit of osmosis, and it will adjust sort of fluid levels. Apparently, how long that takes, I don't know. So different people have different views on that. Really, it's probably not so bad. Truth be told, but me personally, I like to hedge my bets, and I like to drink halfway between meals, just for the best chance of the best digestion, really. Mysterious stranger, welcome to the stream. Dave Backer, what up? Good to see you. Sergeant Angharad with her mam and Fudge. Hello to you guys. Check her channel out. She's a lovely vegan lass. Angharad, message deleted by the Google moderator team. What? I take it that was some sort of terrible misunderstanding. Unless Angharad's gone crazy with swear words or something. Manuel's in the house. Oh, YouTube is so weird sometimes. Don't forget to like the stream. Good point. Good point. Jamie Liddle, my IRL friend. How are you doing? Hope you're well. Thanks for joining. Brennan brings up a great point. Hench, you're awesome. Shit, babe, I know it. I mean, thanks. No, you're very kind. I really appreciate it. Wind Waker's in the hizzy. Fred Flint. Fire Hearts. How are you doing, Fred Flint? I don't know if I've seen you in the chat before. Where in the world are you? How are you? How's the vegan scene there? And how is veganism treating you? If indeed you are a person of vegan persuasions, maybe you're just interested. Or perhaps you're here to crucify us all with your meat-loving ways. I guess time will tell. Wind Waker, that's good advice. I'm actually eating almost every hour. Yeah, that may not be the best, apparently. Michael asks you, who or what is the Google moderator team? I take it it's a bunch of dumbasses, most likely. Knowing Angharad's personality as I do. Sergeant Half Greek, how are you, my friend? Hope you're keeping well. Thanks for joining. Jamie is doing a little better. Good to hear, my friend. Really good to hear. Justin Viola, hey fam. Hey to you. Gemma's yoinking things. Cheyenne Bella. Hi, so excited for this. I adore your videos. Oh, well, aren't you a delight? You can certainly come here again. Cheyenne, what a lovely name. Was that like a type of Indian, like, American style Indians? Isn't that weird about why they were called Indians? Because some Western idiots thought that they'd landed in India, but they were in America. What a crazy thing. Yeah, how are you doing, Cheyenne? Where in the world are you, and how's the vegan scene where you are, and how's veganism treating you, my lovely? I'm interested to know. I like to find out about them. Exactly, Wind Waker. Nice. So how's everyone doing? What have you been up to today? We, Gem and myself, just had a wonderful meeting with our lovely friends who we're going into business with, and a new person who's getting in on it. We were hoping he would become part of the team, and he's a real key figure in the vegan movement. It's a real coup to have him on board. It was super exciting to meet him. I've been watching... I didn't really know much about him until recently. I mean, he's very famous. He's been on a few channels and things. He's very key I can't really say too much, so I should probably shut up. But yeah, so I've been watching like hours worth of him talking, and then we got to meet him, and he was a real delight. So yeah, and he's on board. He wants to get involved. So that's very, very exciting. I don't think I'm going to sleep tonight, in all honesty. Vern Cochrane, how are you doing, my friend? Good to see you. Colin, I keep hoping to see you debate someone. Not a fan of debates, really. Not a fan. Never have been, really. Brennan, Hench, do you do walking lunges at all? Not anymore. I used to. To be honest, for building muscle, I was never a fan of walking lunges for building muscle, because then you kind of heart and lungs are getting a workout as well, and that may zap your strength a little bit, so you're not getting such good hypertrophy gains or potentially strength gains. So I actually more favoured doing them on the spot, like one side then the other side. Or if I was to do walking, I would lead with my left, bring my right foot up to my left, and then lead with my left again. So I'd do one side up the gym, then have a breather, have your rest, and then come back the other way with the right foot leading. So if you see how that works, you can do it forwards, you can do it backwards. Forwards, you're hitting more of your quadriceps. Backwards, you're hitting more of your sort of hams and glutes. Or you can just do it on the spot. But yeah, that's more the way I used to like doing lunges. But yeah, I tore an adductor. I was doing some heavy leg presses, somewhere around 400 kilos. And I'd done a 10 kilo jump over the last week, and I was scheduled to do 10, 8 and 6 reps, and I did 10 and 8 reps. I was meant to be doing my 6 reps, and then my training partner asked me what happens to pigs to make bacon, like what do we do to the little piglets, and I was telling her all about it. I got like over emotional. And I don't know, I just went sort of beast mode, and I thought the more muscle I can build, the more animals I can save just by looking awesome. And I ended up, instead of doing 10, 8, 6, I went 10, 8, 10. Like I got an extra 4 reps at 10 kilos heavier, around 400 kilos on the machine. And yeah, I quite badly hurt something. This was years ago, and it's never been right since. There's sort of a duct tear. It sort of goes into the psoas as well, into my hip flexor. Yeah, it's a bit dodgy. It's never like healed up properly. So yeah, so consequently I can't really do unilateral work because it sort of affects the area too much. So can't even really do a lot of leg exercise. Mostly when I was doing leg training, I would do machine work, squats and things and presses, and have my feet close together so there wasn't any weight going through the adductor, if that makes sense. To be honest though, since lockdown, I've actually quit leg training altogether in favour of hill sprints on my bicycle. I found I've really got into them. I tend to get a lot less pain, well, no pain, other than my quads burning at the time. But with weights, I've been training so long, so heavy, like low back, my hip, as I say, the adductor. Oftentimes I would just be in a bit of pain, and it would seep into my day-to-day life. And doing these hill sprints now, I get none of that. My quads are keeping the size. I'm getting a lot fitter. I can really attack these hill sprints now really fast. Sometimes I nearly go into the back of cars because this hill where I go up typically has got these like ramps, these like, do they call them sleeping policemen in the middle? And if it's a smaller car, like a hatchback, sometimes they slow down so much and I nearly go into the back of them because I'm going so fast. Up the hill. People must think I'm crazy. Crazy. Indian or Native American. Native American was the phrase I was looking for, wasn't it? Thank you. Wind Waker, I took 2 cold baths and cooked an awesome Thai curry. Did the cold baths help psych you up so you were energized? That sounds delightful. Justin, sounds very exciting. There are so many great figures in the movement. Looking forward to it. Thank you. Yeah, it's just amazing. Like, because we're all on the same mission. I don't know. You just can so quickly and easily build rapport with people. And, when there's people you look up to, like that feels really nice. Fred Flint, glad to see you. I'm Swedish and my English is not the best. You're doing pretty darn well from where I'm sitting, Fred Flint. Vegan for 2 months, nice. I had some creme fraiche, but I'm learning. Bless you. Yeah, most people make the odd mistake in the beginning there. Good for you, my friend. Good for you. And Cheyenne is saying that she's in Rochester, New York. Nice. Not a ton of vegan around there, but working on changes. Good for you. Good stuff. That's what we like to hear. Hi, cowboy. My little kitty cat's come in to see me. Fred Flint, I know a lot of Swedes are getting more plant-based, but at least, but I don't know any vegan splash. Okay, so some people are doing it for the kind of health thing at the minute, but not. You know, I came into veganism from the health aspect. I didn't know. I didn't know that I was being complicit in the animal holocaust because as far as I was concerned, I was just eating my dinner. That classic line out of Carnage. I just, like most of us, I thought it was normal, natural and necessary. I thought it was humane, all the bullshit, pardon my French. And I didn't know about it. But, when whole foods plant-based for my health, accidentally, researching recipes and things, accidentally I saw some footage of what happens to animals for them to end up on a plate, and of course I was really disgusted and shocked and just devastated that I was complicit in such a barbarous, unnecessary, disgusting industry, So I think that's good. Well, once people go plant-based, try to get them to have a look at, Dominion, Earthlings, Land of Hope and Glory, one of these types of films, the ethical ones. And, people are more willing to look at it at that point. And then, once you've seen that, you can't unsee it. And most people in their right mind, don't want to be part of that, do they? Like, no one in their right mind wants to hurt an animal unnecessarily. Vern, I'm doing all right, buggering my elbow. You've buggered your elbow, right? Sorry. Can't work out for like 2 to 6 weeks. It's going strong on the block as well. Not sure if I should keep going and work the legs and abs. How are you? Why are you not sure whether you should keep going and work your legs and abs? I tore my biceps off one year boxing. I tore my biceps off. I was in the gym the next day working my jab and my left hook. And in the end, my training partner said that my left got more powerful than my right. There's always stuff you can do to improve. And if it's important to you, you just kind of work around things. The only thing I would say is if your arms were miles behind your legs and stuff, maybe that would be kind of a different story. But, core training, a bit of fitness. I wonder if you can train around it as well. Like, I wonder if you can get like a sling, like a, like from a cable, like a, what do you call it? Like this is like a strap that you say put around your ankle or around your elbow, and so that you can pull from the arm, say like a side lateral raise, rather than pulling from there. I'm sure you could probably do some stuff to do a bit of upper body potentially. Obviously, be careful. But even if you can't, I'd be training around it. That would take a nuclear war basically to keep me out of the gym, or people eating animals unnecessarily and creating another pandemic. Toby Gosling, General Gosling, how are you, brother? Fred, I'm building muscles, but I don't want animal style because I'm training. I don't even use my muscles outside of the gym. I'm the same way. I'm all look, no go. Nail it. I'm working at a non-vegan restaurant and I hated going there every day. Oh, you were? I recently applied to a vegan restaurant and was offered a position. Happy not to be contributing towards cruelty as a chef. I mean, I suppose, you're not contributing towards cruelty because it's the supply and demand thing, and there'll always be, chefs, but yeah, it must feel nice not to have to see and smell that. Yeah, I totally get that. Yeah, good for you. Well done, Nelly. That's brilliant news. Joe Kerr, what is your opinion on you? I don't know what it's like nowadays, but I mean, I know it's not a whole food. I'm really about the whole plant foods as far as possible in terms of health. Now, back when they first started up, they did send me a big old bundle, hoping I'd promote them. But there was some stuff in there I did not like. Fluoride, carrageenan. I think there was some like coconut fats, and some of these long and very long chain triglycerides in coconut oil are worse than beef fat for heart health. And then synthetic vitamins and minerals. Well, if you look at the data, if you look at meta-analysis, by and large, the studies seem to show no benefit to health or longevity from taking a synthetic multi. 1 or 2 studies tend to find a benefit, but a ton of studies find a detriment, like maybe you're calcifying your organs or, it's just weird amounts of synthetic nutrients. You just shotgunning them. So if anything at all, more likely that those synthetic nutrients actually do you harm. So yeah, I'm not a fan. The Vivo Life do a similar product, like a meal replacement called Whole. That one's very natural. It's got natural vitamins and minerals from like powdered fruits and vegetables and things. It's just really good quality ingredients. Third-party tests for over 500 different contaminants. So if I was going to use a commercial powder, I would use Vivo Life's Thrive. There's a link below and a discount code for 10% off if you want to check that out. But me personally, I'll rather stick to the whole foods. I mean, I use a couple of protein shakes. Being a bodybuilder is sort of useful to me. But I try to go as whole foods as possible. I wouldn't be adverse to trying to make my own like whole foods kind of take on the meal replacement. So I would use things like fine ground oats. So, well, I say whole foods. I'd put a scoop of the Vivo Life protein in there as well, Ritual or Perform. Ground flax and chia. Maybe Vivo Life's Thrive Living Multi-Nutrient, which again is a multivitamin, multi-mineral, but it's powdered whole plant foods. I would personally rather go that route. Good, great question. Zephy, what do you think about psychedelic mushrooms and spiritual awakening? I think that all world's leaders should be forced to do such things and to realise that they're not the centre of the universe. Everything affects everything. We're probably all one. And I think it would end like wars. And I feel like I had a bit of a spiritual awakening just going vegan 9 years ago. And I was I'm embarrassed to say, I was a very violent man in a nasty world as a doorman. I did like debt collecting as well for like bad people. And I went vegan, and then one day I thought, if I don't want to harm a chicken I've never met, why am I happy to punch my fellow brother man in the face? If they're like rude to me or whatever, or aggressive. And I just think, if people try to cause you suffering, it's because they too are suffering themselves, and their suffering spilling over. And you can either add to that, which is very easy to do, and we're just all in our kind of egos a lot of the time. It's a self-protection thing, so it's understandable. But I just found that life's so much sweeter if you can step out of your ego for a minute, forgive people, then hopefully they don't pass it on to the next person. Perhaps they can then be nicer to the next person, and life's so much better. So I would say I had kind of a spiritual awakening just from the vegan thing. But I'm a huge fan of psychedelics, and they're not for everyone. Of course, there's a lot of caveats. So don't just go and don't think I'm promoting them anyone. They can be harmful to some people in some circumstances. To other people, they could save your bloody life potentially. And there's certainly 40 major institutes around the world studying their use in a therapeutic setting in terms of PTSD, treatment resistant depression, addiction, those sorts of things. It's a powerful tool, and yeah, I'm a huge fan actually. Did you know that I think Harvard, was it Harvard or is it Johns Hopkins? I think it's Harvard just got granted $90 million to carry on their test. That's how well things are going. So I think that's rather huge. Brennan, I have a bit of muscle and I've been vegan. Oh, hang on, we had a super chat a minute ago and I forgot to say anything. Super chat. I think that was that young Jamit guy. Yeah, Jamit. Super chat $2 US. I'm sorry, Australian dollars. Vegan for the animals. Melbourne in lockdown 6. Bless you. I'm so sorry to hear that, my friend. Can we send Jamit some love, please, Pete? I want to see some love emojis. Keep him strong. Keep him going while he's in lockdown for the 6th time. What did we have? Like 3 here? That was bad enough. Oh, so frustrating. Anyway, Brennan, I have a bit of muscle. I've been vegan for over 3 years, and to get hyped for a workout, I think of animal culture starting to tell others vegans are nice. Don't look like you, though. Well, I have been training for 32 years. Yeah, 32 years. So I've had a bit of a head start, but it sounds like you're doing well. Just keep going. Just keep going. You'll get there. Good on you. Thanks, Michael. Plant-based power. Do seeds and nuts suppress the immune system? No, they boost the immune system. They're blinking great. Justin. Oh, yeah, true. By the way, have you watched Carnage? Yeah, Simon Amstell's mockumentary. Such a great movie. I believe it's even from it. Yeah, English comedian. Yeah, Simon Amstell is the guy. Yeah, it is really powerful, isn't it? It's really clever. I love how it's a really powerful bit of activism, but people would not know. I think people will be watching that, laughing their asses off, and then thinking, "Oh, wait a minute, I do that. I'm laughing at my own hypocrisy." Like, I think it's a way into people's psyche and getting them to think, but without being confrontational. I think it's the most clever bit of activism I've seen, in all honesty. Yeah, huge fan. Rebel vegan in the hizzy. Emmanuel, I'm thinking about learning violin. Does anyone here play? No, I do not play the violin. But I am multi-talented. It's about the only thing I don't do is play the violin. What makes power? Didn't a strongman tear a muscle boxing recently? Yeah, was that Eddie Hall? Probably, I think. All that meat and he still tore his muscle. It seems like a shame, doesn't it? There. Lisa Brown, hey Hench, I got sick again. I'm back in the hospital, but I'm getting out tomorrow. It's hard to be vegan in the hospital. Yeah, I hope you've got friends and family to be able to bring you some things. And get well soon, my friend. I'm sorry to hear that. That sucks. Justin, regarding Huel, I would always go for real food, basically. Maybe it's a good idea if it's short on time. Yeah, I mean, it's great to have it there in a pinch, isn't it? Like, I have got a pack of whole. I've had it since it first came out. It's been out ages, and I've used one scoop, basically. Delicious. What is it? Caramel biscotti or something? Caramel biscuit flavour. But yeah, best to use the whole foods. But no, it's great. It's not bad, you know. It's not bad. Kenneth, is it necessary to soak seeds and nuts like sunflower seeds here? Chia and flax seeds must either be ground or soaked. Because the shells because they're so small and the shells are so thick. If you just chew up whole ones, no really of the meat of the seed gets inside the bloodstream. It's like sticks to the shell. and it just passes out the other end. So in one study, there was 0 serum omega-3 rise. So it's like they hadn't eaten the flax and chia. So yeah, they must either be ground if you're having them dry or raw, or soaked. Other nuts and seeds appear not to be a problem as far as we know. However, if you do soak things, you know, and you leave them overnight, they start to like sprout a little bit. It does make them more digestible. You will leach out some of the phytates though, which some people erroneously think is a good idea, but people in the know understand that actually, no, we want phytates, and all that nonsense about phytates causing us harm. You know, the studies showing that they were like blocking, like binding to minerals and things. These were beagle and rodent studies in, I think, the 1920s or possibly 40s. Might have been 20s. Yeah, we actually want the phytates. I think what happens is, if you're not having phytates in your diet because you're eating a horrible diet, when you first add them in, yeah, they do seem to bind to minerals. But very quickly, your body finds balance. What do we call that when the body finds balance? What's the word for that? Homeostasis, that's it. And actually, they work like vitamins. They do everything that a vitamin does. I probably won't remember all the things that categorize something as a vitamin, but it's something like, without them, like, you know, you can have negative, you know, like maybe disease processes in the body, like just negative things happening in the body. We don't produce them ourselves. When we eat them, you know, the phytates goes up in our bloodstreams, mitigates the harm that you know, that I was speaking of previously. And that basically is what defines a vitamin. So some people actually say they should really be reclassified maybe as vitamin P, like they are really beneficial. And, you know, it's like the lectins, isn't it? You know, nuts, seeds with their phytates, lectins from the legumes, you know, similar so-called antioxidants in whole grains. You know, if you look at really reductionist science, sometimes there's like, it looks as though like it's not a good idea to have these compounds. But instead, if you snap back and look at the bigger picture, like satellite view, instead of being stuck down in the weeds, you see, actually the people in the world who eat the most of these foods live the longest. So they can't be that bad, can they? You know? So I think that's important to know. You know, particularly like the blue zone studies. You know, all centenarians, all the blue zones people all had that in common, that they ate a lot of legumes. So I think that's huge. Brennan, what's everyone's favourite body part to work out, and what's your favourite exercise? I like variety, and I want balance in my physique, so I don't think I have a favourite body part or a favourite exercise. I think my chest and particularly my biceps need more work, so you know, I like to work on those because I know that they've got a bit of catching up to do. But yeah, I wouldn't say I have a favourite exercise. I like variety. Angharad, unfortunately my cowboy emojis have been deleted twice. I would say likely that there is some kind of glitch going on in YouTube, and no doubt next time you're on it'll be put right. I mean, you could try like turning it off and on again, that classic IT thing, but YouTube just does fluff up from time to time. It's really frustrating, so I'm sorry to hear you're having to put up with that. And yeah, I am missing your lovely emojis. Can I do one, or am I going to get the same... Am I going to get the same issue? Oh no, that seems to have appeared for me. Anyway, I hope that puts itself right soon, Angharad, and thanks for trying. You are the emoji queen, that's for sure. How's everyone else's channel emojis? Can you do them, or what's going on there? I don't know what the hell that's all about. Plant-based powered. That sounds really backwards. What the hell's wrong with people? What's going on here? What's really going on here? Rebel, I have a lot of dried pulses. Do you use those for much? If so, how long do you soak them for? Not really. We're a bit lazy. We tend to just use cans, which isn't as healthy. You're better off with the dried ones. Red lentils are the exception because they cook in like 10 minutes, don't they? And they're super good. But they vary. They vary how long you need to soak them for. It's normally a long time. Vern, to be fair, my legs are pretty bad. Maybe it's a sign. Yeah, there you go. They can catch up, and then you'll be a more balanced looking physique and athlete. I don't think I can walk around it, to be fair. I elbows have really hard. Now I have bursitis on my elbow. Good, man. That's what we like to hear. He's getting back in there. That's interesting, Wind Awake. I'd not heard of that. Thanks for letting me know. Kibby, how much alcohol do you drink? Typically, none. I'm never saying never. And like, if I've got to go to kind of a like family thing where, you know, I don't really, it's not people I normally hang out with. I feel like I wouldn't have much to say to them, and they're all drinking. Like, I'm not adverse to having a little bit of a drink. I actually had one recently, and that actually made me really enjoy the night. Whereas if not, I would have been really like, not fed up, but I wouldn't have had such a great time. I really connected with some of my family who I don't normally see. I just struggle with some, just people. I think you get in your clique, don't you? You get, you know, like all my vegan friends, like I just talk to them till the cows come home to roost. That's probably not a very vegan saying, but just any situation where it's a bit awkward and maybe stuffy, and so it's more of a kind of social thing. And you know, I enjoyed the social aspect. I didn't enjoy, you know, feeling really dry and having a bit of a headache. No, I didn't have a bad headache, but I just felt really low energy the next day, just really low energy. So I would rather not do it, but yeah. And of course, you know, it's not healthy. It does raise your risk for cancers and things like that. But once in a blue moon, probably not going to kill you on the scale of things if you're otherwise eating a whole foods plant-based diet and are well hydrated. But I'd really rather not. But, you know, life's for living, isn't it? Do you know what I mean? Lisa, Hench, what's your opinion on using CBD for mental health reasons? I take it to manage my anxiety and panic attacks. Yeah, I love it. And I'm sorry to hear you're suffering with that. And not so long ago, I had a bit of a panic attack myself. It's linked to past trauma. I feel like I've since dealt with it. And now my confidence seems to be really through the roof. But yeah, CBD helps me. I represent the Honest Hemp brand. I'm an ambassador with those. I take the maximum dose like 3 times a day. And, you know, other than this one little panic thing, which was, you know, that's some real past trauma that needed to be revisited and actually dealt with. And I do believe I've actually done it now. I did it through meditation using some of Joe Dispenza's work. It's real good. But yeah, I think anxiety, depression. There's a lot of data now on CBD actually, and it is very well respected for those sorts of things. Some people are microdosing psychedelics as well. Again, that's not me endorsing it. Like, people need to, you know, do their research, and it will harm some people. But for the people who it can help, it can be very powerful. And yeah, some people say that it helps them to manage anxiety. However, you know, if you get the dose wrong, so I do like to microdose fairly regularly. Recently, because you never know like how strong things are when they're kind of street, you know, when they're sourced like a street version rather than like a pharmaceutical version, or, you know, say with mushrooms, of course, the strengths vary, like the potency is natural variability, and you can get it wrong. And recently, I feel like I did about double of a microdose. Really, a microdose, you're not meant to really feel it, that you're on anything. But I felt that I was anxious after I'd taken it, and I did feel uncomfortable. It actually made whereas I'd been really thriving and confident, I felt anxious. So yeah, if you're gonna anyone ever goes to the microdose route. And again, do loads of research because it is harmful to some people. But yeah, make sure that you are doing a microdose and not any higher, because it rather than help, and it doesn't help everyone with anxiety, but it is a potential benefit. But yeah, if you do too much, it actually goes the other way. So you've been warned. But yeah, I love CBD, and of course psychedelics are illegal. Well, in some places they are. Some places are now getting a bit more forwards thinking. But yeah, so Honest Hemp CBD. If anyone wants to try it out, you can get 30% off with my discount code. So the link is below for that if you want to check it out. Very powerful anti-inflammatory. I love it. I really love it. Ah, look at all the love. Good stuff. Bippy boppy. Just tried jackfruit for the first time. Not too keen, but I think it'll grow on me. Happy once in a while. Was it fresh jackfruit? My experience is that most people really rave over it. So you can get sort of dried jackfruit where you get the little sort of bits of it, but it's dry. That's not very nice. But yeah, I mean, of course, we've all got different tastes. So maybe you tried the fresh and you didn't like it. I've yet to meet anyone, I think, though, who said they didn't like it. Tastes like, to me, pineapple bubblegum. Robert, do you have experience with getting in too much fibre? It seems like I get constipated from hitting 90 to 100 grams a day. So drinking clean and running. No. It can happen. It can go either way. And then there's a difference between soluble and insoluble fibre. Which is the one that makes you more constipated? I got a feeling it's the insoluble, but I might be wrong. It may be, like, have you upped it fairly quickly from what you were doing? And it could just be the fact that perhaps you don't have enough gut bacteria, that, the Prevotella types that process fibre efficiently. So you may like to just back it down a little bit and then slowly up it. That could be something. Yeah, I hope you saw that, because obviously, according to the data, the more fibre we eat, the better our health potential. But of course, we're all in a different place in terms of how much our system, or more explicitly perhaps, how good our gut microbiome is, like the bacteria that we've invited to live in the colon. The quality of that may predicate like how much you can make use of, and then you can potentially get too much. But yeah, normally, like a slower ramp up is key. But it's good that you're hydrated. Like that's key as well. Super chat, Van Cochrane, you kind soul, 575 Great British pounds on the super chats. Will you be at the vegan campout? Hell yes. It's mad to think there's going to be so many. I think they'll all told, with the ground crew and the staff in that, I think it's going to be like 11,000 people. So I hear. I know they've sold 10,000 tickets. What I've done, Vern, is I've created a Facebook community. I'll post it in the chat now. Hench Herbivore community. And what we're going to do, either one or both of the days, we'll do a little meet-up. We'll do a meet-up and we can all meet each other and get a group photo. So, and what I've said is, if anyone's got any camo gear, like just a cap or jacket or bag, whatever, if you've got anything kind of camo, just because of the Hench Herbivore Army fingers, which I call you guys, I just thought that'll be nice for the photo, a bit of coherence. But if you haven't got anything, don't bother going out and getting something special. It don't really matter. But yeah, just like to get everyone together and we'll all do a group photo. Perhaps we'll all flex or something silly. And it'd just be nice to have a photo of everyone and to meet you guys. So yeah, please feel free to join that Facebook group if you want to. If you want to get in on that. And we do, you can just hang out in the Facebook group anyway and chat to everyone. So yeah, that is mad to think, isn't it? It's so exciting. And thank you very much for the super chat, Van. That's really kind of you. Really appreciate you, brother. I like that name, Vern. It's unusual, isn't it? I like that name. Michael Jackson, is B complex important for vegans? What time to take it? No. Well, it's important for vegans if their diet's horrible. If the vegans happen to be eating a whole foods vegan or plant-based diet, then it's probably too much, if anything. B12, of course, is important, but B vitamins are ubiquitous throughout the plant kingdom. So as long as you're eating a good amount of legumes, whole grains, fruits, vegetables, nuts, seeds, herbs and spices. Nutritional yeast is particularly good. It's very high in most of the B vitamins, bar B12, which sometimes they do fortify it with. But no, I don't really recommend vegans taking a lot of supplements. I say eat whole plant foods predominantly, or preferably exclusively. Vitamin D if you're not getting sun. B12, of course. A bit of seaweed for iodine. If you're adverse to seaweed, like an iodine supplement would be necessary. Grand flax and chia. You could consider a direct DHA, like a long chain omega-3 supplement. ALA from the chia and flax is the short chain version. Most people shouldn't need a direct DHA, but there are some instances where it is beneficial. So I'd like to put it in as a fail-safe firstly. But other than that, I say get all your nutrients as Mother Nature intended from your healthy foods, you know. Paul Booth, what is your take on arsenic in rice? I eat a lot of whole wheat and wild rice as well as quinoa. Not overly worried, but should we be limiting rice intake? So yeah, rice just does have an affinity with arsenic, and unfortunately is often grown in areas where arsenic was previously used in fertilizers, say in like Central America where the cotton fields were. So yeah, there can be an appreciable amount, and it's not like it's hugely like dangerous, but it seems to offset the 10% benefit. When people eat other whole grains, like 3 servings a day, typically they get a 10% drop in cancer risk, but there is none with the rice. And so the thought is perhaps the arsenic is like, you know, undoing the good. So, you know, I'm not saying that we should not eat it. What I am really saying is we can do better, and it just depends like where you are on the scale of things, like your risk aversion, like. And I just think there's so many types of grains. Like I don't not have rice, you know, I have it fairly often, but by and large I try to pick a different whole grain just for the health benefits, just so I'm slightly more protected, because why not, you know. Some rices, I think wild rice might be one of them, black rice. Some of them are typically not higher in arsenic. So, yeah, if you can know the source and sometimes the different types as well, you know, you'd be mitigating that problem. Paul Booth, every man has a favourite body part. Come on. On a female, it's the bum. Chaz, Hench, did you get the vaccine? Now you're asking. Sorry if you've already posted about this, but I need to catch up on your vids. Thank you. I tend not to answer this question simply because it's so divisive and people just go crackers in the comment section and then all fall out and it just descends into a load of negativity. So I'd rather not say, I'm afraid. Sorry about that one. Yeah, I just tried to avoid that topic altogether. And, you know, some people want my opinion, but, you know, who am I? Like, I know a bit about plant-based nutrition. Well, I know quite a lot, I would probably say, but I'm no virologist. I'm no pharmacist. I don't know the facts and figures around it. I'm really the wrong person to ask, in all honesty. Vegan Ninja in the hizzy. Good to see you. Sprite Girls in the house. I love that cat in the box. They love boxes, don't they, cats? They love them. Gospel music in the hizzy. Rebel without goat. Hi, Hench. Can you have too many legumes / too much protein? I heard that from one vid. Well, if your gut microbiome is of low quality, then you could have like gut issues because of that. And the things there would be to slowly up. Protein probably should be limited. The longest lived people on record, they reckon out into the 1940s. I think they ate 7% of their calories as protein. So, you know, I think, one of the fastest growing diseases is kidney disease. And a lot of that is hyperfiltration from too much protein. I'm sure that it's very likely that in many ways plant protein is healthier than the animal protein. But I think likely a higher carb, lower fat, lower protein diet for most people is probably, I think we can infer, we don't have a lot of hard data, but I think we can infer that likely it's going to be healthier for most people in terms of disease prevention, possibly treatment, and potentially reversal, depending on what disease you're talking about. If I wasn't a bodybuilder, I would probably be taking in about a quarter of the protein that I do now, which is 200 grams. You're welcome, Rebel. Vegan Mooncat in the hizzy. Subscribe to General Mooncat. He's great. Mooncat, are you doing the stream on Sunday with Peace with Reese? Oh, Cherie's here as well. Hi, Cherie. How are you doing? Lovely. Good to see you. I should say Cherie Mooncat. Or not. You do it how you want. Don't let me. I'm not the boss of you now, and I'm not so big. Okay, I'm quite big. That's all this singing coming from. Rebel, I bought the first dragon fruit the other day. They are expensive, so I only got one, but looking forward to eating it. Nice. I do love a dragon fruit. They're never that ripe, really, I think, unless you're living in the tropics, which is a bit of a shame because they are super sweet when you get a good one. But they're nice. Often, if you're in the West, they kind of look a lot more fun than they taste. But it's really good for your health to mix your foods up. So, yeah. Jeremy, hi Hench, greetings from Pennsylvania. Are you cycling at all these days? I sure am. I remember a post in the past involves a bicycle. If so, what's your go-to snack and do you on longer rides? I don't do longer rides. I cycle to the gym and back, or I might cycle to the supermarket. Mostly for fitness, I do hill sprints. And they don't take that long at all, really. Warm up and then like a few sets. Maybe I'm like 20 minutes, 25 minutes tops. So, I never snack. If I was to, it would probably be like dried fruits, I would think. Great question. Michael Jackson, is CBD oil 6,000 milligrams too much? What, in one go? That would be far too much. If you look on Honest Hemp's website, they've got a dosage chart by size, and they have like low, medium, high like dose recommendations based on your body mass, but none of them will be anywhere near 6,000 milligrams. That's crazy. You're welcome, Robert. Zeffy, how long would you recommend to work out every day? Depends on your discipline. I think for the masses, you just want to be fit and strong and healthy. I say about an hour. Like whether it be weightlifting or some kind of cardio. It depends how hard you're training, of course. If you're doing HIIT training, it'll be a lot shorter. And, if you're quite out of shape, maybe you want to do really low impact, like walking, and maybe you're going to go a bit longer, maybe like an hour and a half or something. I think it's horses. No, not horses for courses. That's not very vegan at all. Just whatever. I think it should be quite individualized, really. But it will vary on the intensity. Higher intensity, the shorter the workout. Lower intensity, the longer the workout needs to be. Great question. Daniel Cobb, what are your thoughts on creatine? I'm a big fan. There's a lot of data on its efficacy. That's the word, isn't it? There's a lot of data on how great it is in terms of endurance, power output. Also, did I say endurance? Volumization of the muscles, so kind of looks, aesthetics, even brain function. It seems to be safe as far as we can tell to date. Of course, that is always science is always subject to change over time. So, yeah, do with that what you will. But 70% of people, it seems to be a very effective performance-enhancing substance. 30% of people are non-responders. If you were to take it and your body weight didn't bump up a little bit over the first week or two, you know, for like a average size kind of guy, maybe 4 or 5 pounds. If you didn't see that increase, then you know it's basically you're a non-responder. I thought I was a non-responder until I used VivoLife's one, which is micronized, and I did get a bump up in weight, which I wasn't expecting. So I guess it was working, and I can only guess that because it's micronized, it's more bioavailable, like more absorbable. So yeah, that's worth a check, even if historically creatine's not worked for you. So link below, 10% off code HENCH10 if you want to give that a go. But yeah, some great science on creatine. Of course, it's not a whole food, so it may turn out that there is a detriment there somewhere. I think it does. Some people with a lot of DHT receptors in the scalp, it can accelerate hair loss because it turns testosterone into DHT, and that's like a side effect. Minka, I'm going to have a t-shirt printed with your face on, Paul, that says BFF. What do you think? Let's make it happen. Let's make it happen. I'd love to see that. That'd be so funny. But that sounds awesome. I think I have something camo hanging out. Brilliant. Brilliant. Come on down. Joseph Coolest. How often should I exercise? I'm only walking around a mile a day. Should I walk more or less? You should exercise as much as possible to a point, really. Unless you're really stupidly overdoing it. You know, exercising harder than your ability to recover. You know, you're going to extend your life, basically, and your functionality into older age. So there's no... You know, as long as you're supporting your exercise with enough rest, enough sleep, enough nutrients, you know, and you're recovering and your fitness is improving over time, the more the better, up to a point. And that point is when you start to not improve over time and you're overtraining. I would say like a mile a day is probably, if that's your only exercise, that's probably very low. Historically, you know, we were never sitting down, you know, we were just constantly on the move. Walking would be child's play. It wouldn't be considered exercise. It's just what you're doing all day to get where you need to go in order to live. And, you know, to then have to do some sprints or, you know, to lift things. It's good to challenge your heart and lungs and your muscles, and it also strengthens your bones. And just walking, you know, if you're terribly unfit, then, you know, an hour's walk is great. That's amazing. But as you become fit, you really would benefit doing quite a lot more, really. And I would throw in some resistance training for your muscles and for your bone density. That I think into older age that will pay off. Right back at you, Cherie. Right back at you. Cherie says, "Hi, hope you're well."
Oh, hi. I can't wait to meet you at the campout. Hello, everybody. Yeah, it'd be great to see you guys.
Reese has not asked me about doing a stream. What? What have I got to do it with a load of people I don't know? Well, I don't know if I want to do it if my mate Mooncat's not on there. Terrible. Jeremy, hill sprint, do you hate yourself that much? Kidding, thanks. Yeah, they're not for the faint-hearted, are they? But the way I see it is like they're over and done. Yeah, they hurt, but they're over and done really quickly. I've always hated like long, slow plods because I'm quite heavy. Like I find sort of endurance stuff just uncomfortable, and I'm just miserable for like that hour or whatever you're doing, plodding along. I feel really uncomfortable and unhappy, and I would rather just rip into it and just hurt like hell, but then it's done. Like that's just the kind of guy I am. And of course, I think they're more efficient at getting you fit and potentially like losing fat as well. They're not. If you're not fit, you should start, with more aerobic training. Like build up a good aerobic base before you go into the anaerobic stuff, because that would be a good way to really hurt yourself. If not, Jethro, they say always have 1 day rest a week minimum. Who are they? Who are they? I wouldn't be inclined to disagree. I don't know necessarily if you have to completely rest. I like to see active recovery. So maybe you go into the woods for an hour and just have a real gentle, leisurely walk around. And in that way, you're still burning a good amount of calories. So you can still eat as much food. You don't have to do any changes there and annoying like calculations or whatever. And it just keeps your body in good working order rather than... Imagine you smash it 6 days a week and then you come to a grinding halt and do nothing. I imagine you'll probably be pretty darn sore like when you're back in the gym again. So that's just my little take. But yeah, I think you should have at least a day or two where you're not pushing it hard at least. Joseph Kildis, creatine may have positive effects for IQ according to some studies. Yeah, I did mean to say as well, like cognitive function. Rebel Vegan, what's that image above your name on the screen? This thing? Do you mean? It's like a tip jar. It's if people super chat or join, subscribe, you'll see a little icon of me in there. Good on you, Joseph. Dragon Fist, breathing stale air is bad for your brain and health. Do you circulate fresh air into the rooms that you're in, like opening windows? Yeah. Yep. Angharad says hello.
Oh, hang on, let me say hi.
And Michael Jackson as well. I don't think it's the Michael Jackson.
Hello, everyone.
But he's still pretty snazzy.
I hope that you're all doing okay.
Nelly, will riding my bike get in the way of building muscle, or ride bike to and from work every day? Well, sort of depends. If you're cycling halfway around the world, then likely it would. If it's just a 5-minute bike ride, then likely not. Again, you just have to support what you're doing. So you need to eat enough calories, and obviously you then need to eat more if you're then cycling, or I shouldn't wonder. Get enough rest. But as long as everything's in order, you should be able to build muscle plenty good enough. I actually cycle to the gym. It's about like a 10-minute bike ride, and I find that's just a nice little warm-up for me, actually. Suki, hi Paul, are wild rice any good? Yeah, that's very good. And I think that's typically not high in arsenic like the other, like true rice. Katie Only Love, hi lovely. We spent a few days with Katie and lovely Bob and Jojo. Do you guys know Family Freedom Channel? Do check those out if you've not already, or I'll kick your ass. Good to see you, beautiful soul. And it's good to see you again, you lovely person. We had such a lovely time with you guys. It was a real reset. I tried to have like downtime, but when you're just at home and it's so easy to just do a quick post and see how that's going, and it ends up like you're not really having downtime. But yeah, when you're entertaining like this, you just forget about all that and you focus. And it was so lovely to reconnect with you, wonderful souls as well. We had the best time. Thank you so much. It was been too long, hadn't it? It's been far too long. But in another way, I think we've got such a good friendship that it seems like no time at all in a way as well. It's really strange like that. Jojo had sprouted though. Yeah, he'd really sprouted. That was interesting. Peace with Reese is shocking and hates Nooch, so can't be trusted, to be honest. Right, that's it, me and Kat. I can't be doing with someone who reckons they're vegan but hates Nooch. What? Is that even a thing? I think he might be a mole. Michael, have to go, vegan lovelies. See you soon. See you, Michael. Thanks for hanging out, my friend. Michael Jackson, what do you think of the Plant Power vibration plate? What the hell is that? Is what I think. Please elucidate to me. Vern, right, that's me off to the gym. So everyone has a good night. You too, my friend. Have a great workout. Get some of them plant-based gains, baby. Ooh. Well, it's getting quite late, isn't it? I should probably sign off and go and do some other things. Try to get myself calmed down, ready for bed. I get too pumped doing these streams. I love hanging out with you guys so much. But yeah, I'm gonna come off now and try and calm myself down. So hopefully I can get a good night's sleep and then smash it again tomorrow. Thanks, moderators, for keeping us troll free. Thanks for the super chats, keeping the beans on my toast, the walls on the door, and the cameras rolling. If you want to know how to optimize your nutrition, so you can avoid disease, maybe you got goals like building muscle, burning fat, you just want to make sure as a vegan that you're getting everything you need. What are certain vegan foods that should definitely be avoided, all the good stuff. Download my free vegan nutrition e-guide, How to Eat Plant-Based Accessories, completely free. And it's all the basics, complete overview, so you can't go wrong and become one of those terrible people that we call ex-vegans. And for anyone who's already pretty savvy, but say you want to do a real deep dive and really optimize everything and just know all the stuff, you want all the resources to hand, well, we've recently dropped our Ultimate Guide to Plant-Based Nutrition online course, which is basically 20 combined years of me and Gemma's knowledge and experience as a PT, a nutritionist, a chef, and an all-round handsome couple. We feel like we've made that quite affordable. So link below for that as well if you want to check that out. There's 14 videos, our 2 cookbooks are in there. There's loads of PDFs, charts, everything you could ever probably hope to ever need to know. I would say is most probably in there. It took us 5 months. We've really put our hearts and souls into that. So do give that a look if you want to. And I'll see you next time, guys. I'm thinking these morning, I was basically streaming morning and evening, and I've noticed that they're getting fairly quiet. I think I've just spread myself teeth. There's just too many of them, so people don't want me in their faces twice a day, every day. So I think I'm going to mostly knock the morning ones on the head now. So I don't think I'll be on in the morning. I will do an odd one now and again. But me and Gemma will be on tomorrow night at 7 p.m. GMT for our regular Friday couples stream. So hope to see you then. Have a lovely rest of your day, guys. And thank you so much for hanging out and making my life wonderful. And that I've actually got some friends for once. Be well, guys. See you soon.